Hello and welcome back to Closed Circuit Sports. I'm Andrew Goldman. This is our first event outside of Whiteland Raceway Park. This is SIRA, the Southern Indiana Racing Association, for our first street race. A little late out for practice one. We were stressed as hell trying to run our own cart out of the Wilbur's trailer. They were friendly enough to let me ride along with them, but I was still really trying to get the hang of timing everything correctly. And without anybody who was a dedicated mechanic of mine, I was having to bum certain things, like a lift off of the cart stand. And just there, you saw somebody do my helmet strap because I had neglected to do that. I had put on my gloves before I had done my helmet strap, and that could get me in trouble out here. So it was very nice of that man. I don't even know if I know who that was. But this is lap 1 at Anderson. It's basically a city block. You got 2 chicanes and 2 flat 90s for a total of 6 corners, technically. Oh, great start. Thankfully, only one person behind us needed to navigate. They did so very well, nicely. I raised the hand. My B. Oh. Still running on the stock length axle. I think we still had Caster out. There goes Levi. Let's see if we can stick with him. Nope. Who's this guy? Let's try and hang with him. Nope. They really are taking it flat already. I'm still figuring it out. I'm like, the breaking point is there? Nope. Oh my goodness. I'm like, go ahead. Just somebody. They didn't take it. I gave it. Okay, I gave it. So, street racing and go-karts isn't something that I knew about until very recently. When I did, I was like, oh my goodness, I might need to go do this. But oh my god, the nerves. I cannot describe the nerves. Looking at these barriers as opposed to the ones I'm used to racing on. Behind each of these barriers is a curb. And I don't mean a racing curb. I mean a roadside curb, like a screw up your rims on a real car type of curb. A very short wall, a short concrete wall in karting terms, behind each of these barriers. So thank God for the barriers that were donated by the Anderson Sertoma Club, I believe it was, helping put this race on. All the volunteers who helped set this thing up, because this is mind-bending. I had never had a chance to race on a track like this, and I only recently found out that this was even a thing. It's a shame that it doesn't have a webcast. It absolutely deserves one, but I understand that it would be hard to get it done, given that it's taking place in a city where people have to still walk around the camera spots. It would be hard to get good angles that wouldn't be impeded by pedestrians regularly. So I can understand why they didn't have a webcast, but I really hope that they either get in contact with people who can figure it out, or I don't know, maybe they afford some kart chaser in the future. We're starting to figure out these chicanes, at least. Let me wait until we hit this corner again before I say it. Because it's gotten us twice now. It'll get us again later, you'll see. Actually, it gets us every time. Every issue I had was that corner. This one going up the hill, manageable. We got down to about a 30-second lap here. It's a city block. Speed limit sign, I believe, said 25. We were nearly hitting 50. was an absolute ball. Once I got used to running on track with other people, because holy smokes, everybody else was on the pace like right out the gate. Because this is a track that people run every year. This is the 30th annual Anderson Grand Prix. They have not all been sanctioned by SIRA, I don't believe, but this one is. It was a really cool event. Not everybody was scaling. So I was like, okay, I'd like to though. Can I? I was like, cool, I can. So I just wanted a baseline. I wanted to know what my freaking weight was starting here. Because I know that it's a heavier weight than I've ever had to make. It's a 375. I'm like, is it on? It is. Good. I don't know where all this came from, but I don't want to just run it over.
I'm sorry, thank you. Hey Levi, am I supposed to stand up here with it?
Yeah. Then like on the grade.
On the grade?
Yeah, on the grade, yeah, on the pad.
I'm realizing that I'm going to be under for pretty much the whole weekend. I kept on having to fill my gas tank to the brim. I only had a handful of lead pucks with me because I've never needed to make anything higher than 365. That's medium at Whiteland in the Indy Karting Challenge. So here, 375. I gotta find a way to get 10 more pounds into this cart because I've been losing weight over the course of the season as I've been getting back into shape. Forget rugby fit. It's the last kind of in shape I needed to be. For 15s, I was trying to put on mass. Once I got into 7s, the running went through the roof and the weight fell through the floor. Struggling to keep my shoulders up. So, wrapping up practice 1, we're realizing this is a different can of worms, man. I gotta try and find a braking point there without going past peak braking at all, while also getting that swivel down into turn 3. It's turn 3. I think we really only called it 4 corners. We were calling it turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. Even though 1 and 3 are kind of chicanes, they're really just like a little complex. It's one real corner. It's one true apex. You just gotta swing out to hit it. But they're different. They're not identical. And the 90s are different as well, because one is uphill and one is, one is downhill and flat out and fast. And the other, it's pretty much flat. So you really sling it. But all of them are different. It's a whole course. They made a whole race course here around the, I kid you not, the DCS building. The Department of Child Services building, I believe it was, in Anderson, Indiana, over a weekend in June. I believe it was June, end of May. It was right around the Indy 500. Getting ready to go out for practice 2. Trying to roll with the flow. Find a rhythm. Find the gearing. Able to adjust my own ratio at this point, but still bumming rear sprockets off of the Wilburs. Making sure I'm not trying to use the same gearing as Levi for that reason. We weren't on the same clutch driver, so it all worked out. Like, we never needed the same one. Now I got options. Now I got my own gear tree. Now I got three clutch drivers as well, so I can really mix it up if I need to. Especially, hopefully, for this next SIRA event, which is going to be at Elkhart, I believe. I skipped the Whiteland one because, God, I've been doing so much racing there. I'm just going to run all the IKC, light and medium, at Whiteland, and I think that's all my Whiteland racing that I'll be doing this season. It's plenty of content to try and keep up with, and hard to break it up, so I'm going to do it with these. Oh! You just see me bust myself down. Hold up. I gotta go back and watch that again. Red flag, red flag, red flag. I knew it was in here. I didn't know it was that early in the practice. My life flashed before my eyes just there. You see me hit that gap? Sheesh. So we pull it in. Pull to a stop. And practice 2 as they get these carts that one must have gone into the barrier and the other guy was on the racing line and nicked him, and they spun around off on the track, and I had to thread the needle in a way that I did not want to. Couldn't go left, couldn't go right, had to hit the gap. I'm really glad neither of them were moving at the time that I hit that gap, because if either of them had tried to restart or re-enter the line, God forbid, that would have been a hell of a hit, man. That would have been a hell of a hit. But we're rolling again. Oh my goodness. That was a much shorter red flag than I remembered it being. And much earlier in the session than I remembered it being as well. So we're on the limiter pretty early now, which is good. Everybody was running right around like a 4 at this track, like a pretty high gear ratio for a track that's fast like this. A couple of hands going up, everybody caution. We're navigating. But you see where we are. You see that church over there, you see speed limit 30, there we go. 20 in the roundabout. Ah. We got the ambulance on standby. This was a real event. At a temporary race course. And I was, I don't want to say out of my depth, but impressed. I was impressed. One of the coolest things I've gotten to be a part of in racing so far. And these are just the practices. We'll get qualifying here as well. But, man, it was a good first track. It was a good first road course. We got Braden right there. We got Levi right here. We'll let everybody roll on through and try and hang on. They seem to have a higher rolling speed than me. I'm gripping the wheel. I seem to be gripping the wheel. I'm trying to swivel it. But, alright, we got it there. We're gaining on people there. Oh, shit, Levi got an issue. Excuse me. I only ever pass Levi when he has an issue, but man, he has them way more often than me. I'm really grateful for this cart. I'm grateful for that reliable little CW kart engine that I was given by Burpo back at the beginning of the year. Sold to me as a practice motor. Now tuned by New Gen. It's respectable. It's respectable. I'm about a second off the pace at Whiteland in the IKC of guys like Braden and Levi. Consistent winners, consistent leaders, guys who I know are on the pace. Levi's not running Summer Nats this year, but Braden is. Moles are. So we got some CW representation in Summer Nats this weekend, as I'm recording the voiceover. You can see how bumpy the track is, but the stabilization's going all right. There we go, Levi, he's back at it. His engine must have stalled. Let's try and hang. We're on similar gear stacks. I've never been to a bump drafting track, so this could get interesting, but you can't really Can't bump through the corners, that's for damn sure. And you can't bump friendly, really, on a road course, street course. You can't really give a friendly bump. Gotta be a smooth track. So this won't be the day. Newcastle is a beast that I am patiently waiting to approach. I've heard that track is treated like playing American football versus world football. All right, like the car is part of the game. It's like NASCAR, where you're using the car as a weapon as much as your kart placement in European karting. Aggression is king in American racing. I've been finding that out steadily. And learning that patience is the better part of valor. As I've been slowly but steadily approaching the pace of the leaders, whittling it down from as high as 4 seconds at certain tracks early on, 2 seconds at Daytona, 2 seconds at the beginning of the year in IKC, 3 seconds at Route, 4 seconds at Route at certain points. Terrible days at Route 66, that event was. But here, it feels good.
But I know that it has varying degrees of success.
Trying to find that swivel point through each of those chicanes has been an absolute balancing act. But we're trying to simplify it as much as we can. Keep it from wigging us out. We haven't broken anything. We got a couple of spins, but we hadn't broken anything yet. Foreshadowing.
Levi, that last lap was fun. Thank you.
I learned so much following that kid.
Spent like half a second on that last lap just following Levi. Just following Levi. I've never been in a kart race that actually has slipstream. This is crazy. You actually, I had to lift to stay behind the guy when you're right behind. The air is.
I had a draft for the first time in my experience. Whiteland's such a technical course that you really have to be on somebody's bumper to feel a draft on a straight.
Wait.
And early on here, those have been hard for me to come by, an actual draft.
Are you, Brent's son? I was talking to a guy in line earlier. I thought he might have been your dad. You're all right. Right on. That wasn't the guy I was talking to, but he had a 17-year-old as well who'd been racing his whole life, and I was like, wait, MCC? All right. Where do you mostly race? Where do you mostly race?
This club.
Okay.
And this club's dying. We're going to be starting
I'm already there. That's where I started. This is only my first season. I did one event last year and it was fun. What was your name?
Palmer.
Palmer.
Can I get all celebrity drivers?
Really wish that I had recorded
drivers to report to the parks?
round 10 last year in the IKC, my first 206 race. But I kept that one for me. I stuck at 360 in that race unintentionally. So I can't really claim credit for it because it was unintentional, but I still wish I had it on tape. Because you know how it is these days, picture it didn't happen. Hopefully I don't get a chance to show you all my 360 skills here in the future, but racing is full of surprises. Heading out for qualifying. This is all day one. This is all Saturday. The pre-final and the final practice were the 3 sessions that ran. on the Sunday. Here on the Saturday, we ran 4. We ran practice 1, practice 2, qualifying. Only a 5-minute qualifying or a 5-lap qualifying, I can't remember. I think 5-lap. And then a heat race. We're going to do that in a separate one at a later date. But we're just getting you introduced to this track because, God, this was such a cool event. We had a good number of karts in this class too. It was like 16 drivers, 17 drivers. You got a little glimpse of the timing sheet there, but not a long enough look. We're going to try and just do our best here getting through qualifying and see where it puts us. We got a hand up, we got a hand up. Yellow, 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 yellow. Minimum speeds are too low through there. Gotta try and keep the revs up in these low horsepower karts. Haha. They are legitimately low horsepower. Doesn't mean they're not fast. Just tagged a barrier there. Everything should be straight still. .45 up the hill, try and keep momentum through there, not enough. Picked up torque pretty quick though. High gear ratio doing us well. I love that we're going fast enough here that we get pulled over in a road car. 47 on the limiter. 30 on the speed limit. LOL. Doing the dance with this guy a little bit. Love to see it. Hopefully we stay close enough that we get the wind. Try and copy his braking point a little bit. It's right between that yellow sign and the white sign, but trying to find the balance of where to put peak squeeze and where to start squeezing off. You don't really want to actively lift off the brake. Suelio, thank you Suelio Almeida. You just want to squeeze less. Because it is pressure in these, not position. It's a hydraulic braking system, just like any other. You just got to know where max pressure actually is, where lockup is, because these are rear brake only. Single rear disc brake only. So it is directly attached to the axle. Kind of offset left. No, kind of. It is. It's offset left. The engine's offset right. But it's the rear axle that you're braking. It's not one wheel or the other. Once you get into shifter karts, or I suppose heavy X30s, you can find yourself in a 3-brake kart, one on the rear and one on each front. But those are very high horsepower karts and very high braking force as well. And rather high maintenance since you have 3 times as many brakes as usual. This is a kart that is designed for KA 100 that I have been running in 206. We will see how quickly we find ourselves in KA, but I'm really trying to learn how to make it quick in 206. See how much I can get out of it without permanently changing it. Or investing in an AM29. We may end up in KA sooner than we think. Ooh. Just hanging on for dear life through that chicane still, because there's a bump there that I don't know how to navigate, so I'm just riding it. Not the way to do it. but it's what we got at the moment. Figuring it out. Must have been 5 minutes. Oh, it ended up being our fastest lap. That's solid. 28.7. We found 1.3 seconds since practice 1, without changing the gear ratio from a 4 to 4.00. Wide open downhill. Trying not to put in too much input, trying to let it run out to the wall without running too close to the wall, but very, very respectful of the wall still. Yellow flag coming in. Session done. A respectable qualifying. Puts us in too good of a position. I ain't even gonna front. You'll see. Having never been street racing before, out-qualifying yourself is not something you actually want to do. Unfortunately, I am pretty good at fucking qualifying, excuse me. More so than racing now. It used to be me going, I'm a race pace guy, but really I was just terrible at qualifying. Now I'm like decent on one lap. If I can stitch it all together, qualify 7th with Braden on the board, and then Braden caught a penalty. So we ended up actually starting the heat race in 6th. So we'll see how that goes when we come back. My name's Andrew Goldman. This is Closed Circuit Sports, and we'll be seeing you soon. Peace.